When you just sit and listen to this young man,
he was too busy riding that pine.
you can tell he's happy. He is
Damian Keyshawn Owens.
But everybody calls him
Muddy.
Got the nickname from his grandmother when he was just a baby.
I'm very proud of him.
Muddy's 18 now and invited me to hang out with him and his buddies at Thurgood Marshall High School. His senior year flew by. Position! Was captain of the football team. On the field, he always led by example. He's finishing high school with a 3.4 grade point average and is already looking ahead to what's next.
I plan on going to Alabama A&M.
And he's thinking about majoring in criminal justice.
So I can come back and give back to my community.
A young man so focused and wise beyond his years, in part because he's had to. See, Muddy's faced more tragedy, turmoil, chaos, and fear in his childhood than most will in a lifetime.
What he's seen, no child should ever have to see that.
It was July 27th, 2000.
I remember it like it was yesterday.
What happened next, he's tried 1,000,000 times to forget.
And all I remember is the man pulling out the gun and shooting my dad.
Once in the back and once in the head.
I just watched him drive away, and I used to blame myself for that, like I could have did something about it.
Dayton police officer Letha Savage was dispatched to the scene that day.
This is one of the moments that, for some reason, I've never forgotten.
She was a rookie officer and had never been through something like this.
My job was to get the young little boy and protect him as much as possible from what was going on.
She wondered, how could a little boy get past something like this? Would Muddy eventually turn to the streets like his father did? Damian Owens Sr. wound up in federal prison for selling drugs. Just 3 months after getting out of prison, he was dead.
And I want to be that person on the other side to say, like, on my film, like, you don't got to be a drug dealer, or you could be a lawyer or something and help people.
That optimism, that spirit of Muddy's keeps pushing Officer Savage even today.
What I chose to do as a career may have guided, may have helped. It redefined my career for me.
As Muddy's birthdays came and went, Savage kept tabs from afar, hoping, praying Muddy stayed on the right path. On that path, football and his coaches helped fill that void and offered positive reinforcements.
And Muddy was great at coming to the huddle. Coach, they running a 4-man front, or they're in a 5-man front. They got a 3-man front.
Coach McCleskey could not be more proud of who Muddy has become on and off the field.
He's one of the kids that you would never forget. And he was a special kid, on and off the field, in life, period.
He and others never hesitated to be that male role model, helping Muddy's mom with not only him, but his younger brother. Then came Muddy's next challenge in life in 2012, and Coach McCleskey was there.
When my mom went to prison, he came in and treated me like I was his son.
Muddy said he could never repay his coach for that. And while Muddy's mom spent 2 years in prison for tax fraud, Grandma took care of Muddy and his little brother.
She didn't have to take us in when my mom went to jail, but she did.
At times, Muddy said he has struggled, showing his Nana how grateful he is and how much he loves her.
I just thank her a lot because we could have been anywhere. They could have split us up.
But after prison, Muddy's mom came home and put her focus back on her children. But it was not easy, and for more than 5 months through much of last summer, they were homeless and living at St. Vincent's.
That was really tough, trying to go to school and hide the fact that I was living in a shelter.
He was embarrassed, but this was yet another life lesson, and he's better for it today.
I never stop trying to reach my goals because I know that I can be successful and change that outcome for my family.
Whether he knows it or not, he's inspired so many people, younger and older than he.
But the life lessons that was taught with Muddy, he taught me that every day is a blessing.
And just a couple months ago, Officer Savage ran into Muddy.
And I just gave her a great big hug because
his way of showing how grateful he is all these years later. And to go along with all the tears of sorrow with this story, it's so nice to see the tears of joy take over.
He was so happy. He was happy. He was Friends.
Can't help but wonder who's made more of a difference here.
I truly believe I wasn't placed in Muddy's life. Muddy was placed in my life.
And for those who think life is too tough and that mountain is too tall to climb, Muddy hopes you remember this.
You should never give up. Like, do it. No matter what you go through, just never give up.
James Brown, News Center 7.